What is up, y'all? Welcome to my fantasy football podcast, episode number 20. Super excited to have you if you're watching, man. Thursday night football this week. Little Patriots win tonight. I think on a bunch of sports books, they were at 13.5 points. Over here on my CBS pick'em, I had them at 11.5. I thought that was a comfortable line because looking around shopping lines, I saw them bet out 12.5, 13.5, and I was like, well, I think I'll take 11.5. And sure enough, they fell there. Got a nice pick 'em here. We'll get into our pick 'em in a second, but I just wanted to recap this game a little bit. This was a great one. I love me some Thursday night football. It's always a divisional game. It's always closer than we think. And it's just football, man. Who doesn't love football? I can get down with some college football, but I really love NFL. I love the storylines. I love how these guys come out and compete, no matter if it's a 2-8 team playing a 9-2 team. These guys' records are practically flip-flopped. So this is cool stuff to just watch, on a Thursday night in the middle of your week, just to get through another night. You don't have to sit down with the wife and watch Dancing with the Stars or The Bachelor yet. You can put on football if you're lucky enough. Um, Justin Fields, he is a phenomenal rushing quarterback, but 116 yards is not a good quarterback. Um, this is no longer college. You have to be able to throw the ball. It's unfortunate that that's what he has to do because he's so good at running the football and he's so good at commanding an offense. But and granted, it could be his weapons around him, Michi, Mark Taylor, who is a great tight end. But these guys are just emerging on the scene. Adonai Mitchell, who dropped like three great catches. So granted, I'm not going to put all the blame on this guy, on Justin Fields, but he definitely needs to step it up. He is just not doing it as he should if he's going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You want to look over here. This guy, granted, he's an MVP candidate, but he was 25 for 34, 280 yards, and a touchdown. A little scat play to Mr. Henderson. If you're a guy like me, you thought you set your lineup, but you didn't, and Henderson was on your bench and scored 30 points. So that's how I'm feeling in this league. 32 points left on the bench already, playing against a 7-3 team that I really need to win against. But that doesn't matter, okay? We're going to overcome adversity. It's Thursday, man. We ain't worried about it. Who I like to see catching the ball from Drake May, Stefan Diggs. Look at this guy. 105 yards on 11 targets, 9 receptions. He kept getting hit, and I thought his back was like really hurting. I don't know what was going on, but he looked great out there. Other than that, wow, these guys they're 34 yards after the catch. If you're a yak guy and you like seeing wide receivers doing their thing, that's very impressive. Coming over here, alternatively, the highest yak on the Jets was 15, so more than double that for Mr. Stefan Diggs. Good for him. Great plays, busting out here. I will say it was a great first quarter. Jets go up, but then the Patriots just sweep in, do their thing. Really took the game by storm in the second half. Great adjustments. This isn't one you want to sit down and watch the whole thing. I've been trying to, prepare for the weekend because this weekend, man, we have some crazy games. This could be my favorite matchup so far of the NFL slate. Don't get me wrong, we've had some great ones. We've had some great games. We had a re-Super Bowl matchup already. We've had the Chiefs and the Eagles play. Earlier in the year, we thought we had or we saw in the schedule we are like, hey, Chiefs and Commanders are going to play. That could be a potential Super Bowl. But things bust around, things don't end up happening. And look at what's going to happen today. Eagles, Lions. Super excited for this one. Eagles have a lot to prove here with Mr. A.J. Brown getting kind of discerned on stream and talking about, hey, if I'm on your fantasy team, you should go ahead and drop me. That's not something you want to hear, man. Especially as a guy who is a fantasy manager of 4 teams. I don't have him for a very good reason because I know how his chemistry is in Philadelphia. But that's not something you want to hear if you do have him. If you do have him, I would not drop him. That was not a wise decision, but definitely shop trades, maybe shop around for some people who aren't always in the news, and you can maybe catch them under the radar for a slick trade before the deadline. A few leagues still have a trade deadline coming. But anyways, I think the Lions too, man. These guys are underdogs here at home. Eagles just took it to the Packers at home, and I think that this division really has a lot to face if the Eagles can beat them too. The Eagles are going to be a scary force coming out of the NFC if they just wipe the Lions. But I think there's a lot banking on the Eagles here just because of their struggles. And granted, they have beat great teams. They beat the Chiefs. You know, I'm eating my words as I say them as a Chiefs fan. But these guys right now, they need to get it together. Saquon, he's doing that thing again where he's getting like 40 yards a game. That's not Saquon Barkley that we know. Jalen Hurts, he's throwing balls that aren't catchable. I don't blame A.J. Brown for his discern. If I can't catch the ball, I would be mad too. So a lot to going on in the Eagles. I feel like the Lions, really their only concern is that they just need to play a complete game of football. They can easily score 40 points on anyone. They're a dominant football team. It's something that they messed up when they played against the Chiefs. They just did not play a good game of football all around. So I think this is really a testament to Sirianni, how he can coach on the road here. He's really good on the road, don't get me wrong, but we're going to see what he can do. Coming over here, Chiefs, Broncos. Ha! This is a tough one, man. I, you know, I love the Chiefs so much, but going into the Broncos after a bye and a Broncos mini bye is going to be a tough game. They are hunting for our head, man. I promise you, there's nothing more these Broncos people want than to beat the Chiefs at home. On the flip side, Patrick Mahomes is 13-1 against the Broncos. He owns these cats, man. I really feel like in this one, you got to put a lot on the Chiefs. They have so much to prove here. Even if the Broncos lose, they can afford it. That sounds crazy, but the Broncos can afford a loss and even still go for the division. Chargers making a close, sneaky second, I will say. Let's watch out for them. But tough schedules coming across the board for everyone. So watch out here. Chiefs Broncos is going to be a crazy one. We're going to come down when we talk about our pick 'em for exactly what we're going to see on the score here. I have Chiefs at 3.5. I think this is a game that Patrick Mahomes comes after. I think that after watching the Broncos kind of get got after a couple weeks ago, Bo Nix, if he has 4 or 5 rushers really getting after him, he gets happy feet, man. And this is where Sean Payton kind of gets frustrated and doesn't know how to communicate with his quarterbacks. They'll be sitting on the field and they start getting scatterbrained and they'll get to third down very quick. And now it's 3rd and 12. And there's not a play that Bo Nix has in his bag that's really secure like that. Especially against a fantastic Chiefs defense when it's really playing at its potential. The Chiefs need to play how they play. If the Chiefs come out here and do a little lofty game like they did against the Jaguars, this is one thrown in the dirt. They need to come out like they did against the Lions, and they need to have a great game. Coming down here, I do have the Eagles winning here against the Lions. I did talk about their struggles, but I think that's something that they can pretty much overcome. Even if this is a high scoring game, I'm going to give it to the Eagles. Um, Man, as much as I hate them, it's okay to pick them. And, that's fine. It's just a matchup. That's the only reason I don't like them. I just don't like them because they beat the Chiefs. But I feel like they can beat the Lions. The Lions, I've seen the Chiefs beat the Lions, and the Eagles beat us. So I'm going to say the Eagles are just a better team all around. So for sure, taking the Eagles there, taking the Chiefs here. But back to our biggest matchup, in one of my opinions, the Seahawks and Rams, man. Coming up here, I have them at -2.5 on the Rams. Um, Really, I could get into the nitty gritty here, but there's two teams that look very similar. And the only difference I would say is that Seattle's defense is very good, and the Rams' offense is probably just a little better. So when it comes to crunch time, I see Sam Darnold kind of getting a little loose, maybe throwing an interception. Matthew Stafford, 3 games with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now, granted, these are not against the best teams, but he's doing it, and that's what matters. Against a couple beat up teams, but it doesn't matter. It's the NFL. He's really a fantastic quarterback. He could be the MVP candidate this year. A guy that's never been an all first team All Pro could get his MVP award. Good for him. But I have them at 2.5, and one of the reasons why is now this is you guys are gonna be like, Cosmo, you think the NFL's rigged? Well, I don't think the NFL's rigged, but I do think that if a lot of the public is on a certain bet, then it's probably going to go the other way. I don't think people know what they're talking about, especially in gambling and how much money people have right now throwing into it. There is 75% on Seahawks +3 and 82% of the money. That's insane, considering the Seahawks are on paper a better team. This should be more 60-40, if anything. Not all the bets have been settled for the week, but I feel like I'm going to fade the public here, man. This is one I'm very keen on here. Another one I'm looking at here is also this Lions Eagles, 18%. Of the bets on Eagles and 16% of the money on the Eagles. When they are the better team, and it's -2.5, which is practically a pick 'em. I really have to give it to these two teams here. Let's go Rams for sure, and let's go Eagles for sure. We already have these saved in here. And then our last big matchup of the week, Bucks Bills. Huge for the Bucks here. I think the Bills can really afford one. Their division's so bad, it doesn't matter for them. But I think the Bucks will take 5.5 points here. This is a great team. With even without with their injuries, Baker Mayfield is arguably playing a better season than Josh Allen this year. I'm not saying he's a better quarterback. I'm saying this year Baker Mayfield has played a better season. I think Baker Mayfield could come in here, release his inner dog, and he could really take a little bit by storm here. Josh Allen comes out a little flat-footed. Got beat by the Dolphins last week. Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. I just can't take the guy serious. I've seen the Bucks beat by a couple guys, but they've also beat some really good teams. They beat the Seahawks this year. Um, that's probably the biggest thing they can hang their hat on. So I'm gonna really have to give it to the Bucks there. Coming into the rest of our game slate, Dolphins, Commanders. This one's being played in Spain, in Madrid, Spain, and I do have to say that the Guy soccer stadium that they are playing at in Spain, I realized is the same guy who announced Jalen Waddle being drafted to the Dolphins. So big connection for Dolphins in Spain here. You got to realize Miami has a big Hispanic heritage. Like a lot of the people are from surrounding Hispanic cultures and Spanish settlements. So it all kind of goes back to Spain, and I feel like this is kind of a let's go home, kind of game for Spain. So Miami Dolphins, I'm really taking these guys -2.5. Beat the Bills last week. Give it to them. A-Chain, need them for 50 points this week, please. Panthers, Falcons. Falcons are favorited, even though the Panthers beat them 30 points to 0 6 weeks ago. I can't take that seriously. Penix is not playing well, and I think the Panthers defense can get after them. Rico Dow will have a game here. Falcons are also traveling back from Germany, so a little bit of flight lag coming into like Tuesday. Panthers removed off a Saints loss that kind of killed them. It's kind of a Bayou brawl. So I'm going to have to go back to the Panthers here. I feel like they're going to come back. They got to prove something, even though they're on the road. Bucks, Bills, talked about it. I need the Bucks here. I don't need the Bucks here, but I would like the Bucks here. I feel like they're going to pop into the Bills Stadium and give them something. Now I'm flying back and forth here, Chargers and Jags. The only reason I'm so heavy on the Chargers is because Joe Alt is out. Or the reason I'm so heavy on the Jags is because Joe Alt for the Chargers is out. If you don't know who Joe Alt is, he's one of the best offensive tackles in the league. And tackles are very crucial because they protect your quarterback. And your quarterback is your most important player. And your tackle is arguably your probably fifth to eighth most important player. On the Chiefs roster, our second most paid player, Jawan Taylor. He's also our most penalized player, but he's our second most paid player. He is a left tackle. And these guys, if they're great at their job, they're great at their job. And if they slip up, they can really hurt your quarterback. Alex Smith had a terrible injury when he was on the Commanders because his left tackle was out and a backup left tackle was in. And it ended up hurt, these guys come in, these 300-pound defensive ends come slashing off the edge. They'll break a block. They'll come down and they'll just attack these guys at the hip level. That's how they're taught. So it's no fault to them. You just got to give it to you got to be better at tackle. And Chargers, I've seen him, Justin Herbert, throw the ball away and just kind of throw a couple interceptions the last couple games. He's doing that Patrick Mahomes thing. Instead of chucking the ball out of bounds or maybe taking a 1 or 2 yard sack and stepping up into the pocket, these guys are just chucking it downfield, hoping for the best, acting like their balls just connect. So I'm going to have to take the Jags here. Jags are a great team, too. They're in the playoff contention right now, and I really would like if they knock the Chargers off. So personally, I like the Jags. Vikings, Bears here. Flying back and forth on this one, too. J.J. McCarthy just hasn't impressed me. Caleb Williams is kind of getting it done. And Ben Johnson as a head coach is... he's impressive. He knows what he's doing, but KOC, Kevin O'Connell, that guy is a mean machine. And I think he knows how to coach a football team, and I think he knows how to rally his troops. And if he gets J.J. McCarthy rolling even in the third quarter, they'll hang on with these guys. So let's take Vikings here. Packers, Giants. Oh, 7.5 points. So I think this was at about 10, but then they said Jameis Winston was going to play for the Giants. So that means a great post-game interview. However, I don't think that negates a swing in points. But here's the thing. Packers are just getting killed lately, man. We don't know what to think here. Do we think Jameis Winston really comes in and surprises them? Do we think LaFleur gets after on Green Bay and gets Jordan Love back on track? Let's go LaFleur gets Green Bay back on track here. And against the spread, 3-6. Oh, goodness. On the road at the Giants. Fired coach. Oh, my goodness. Who is the new interim head coach for the Giants? It is going to be Mike Kafka playing calls, and Tim Kelly is the new offensive coordinator. So it looks like Mike Kafka met with media on Wednesday, expressing his gratitude towards Dayball and the front office, also announcing a few housekeeping items as well. I'm excited and looking forward to the challenge. I certainly didn't anticipate this, and it's one of those things that happens in this league. Again, I'm appreciative of what Dave's has done for me as a professional, as a coach, and a person, yada yada, and a family. There's a human element to it too, very sensible, but there's a time for this group. Let's talk about football. Oh, he's a really smart coach. He'll help us in the in the run game and the pass game. Tie in the run game and pass game. He does a great job with a lot of experience to bake on. According to Kafka, there are no anticipated coaching changes. This is according to SNY News, Alex Smith editorial. Let's go, Mike Kafka. Let's see what you got. I think they really got something going on in Giants. If everyone's healthy, then they have a team. But if everyone's doing what they're doing, banging their heads together, the all scatty boo way, that's not going to work out. So you know what? We're back on, and let's fade the public on this one. I like this. Let's find this one. Giants, 36%. Dogs, JMO. Let's give them some hope here. I can eat a pick. Oh man, this kills me. They played the Eagles. They didn't play that bad of a team. They lost to the Eagles. Packers. All right, man, they lost to the Panthers too. Giants 7.5 points at home. Don't bet on that game. Take the under, whatever it is. Under sitting at 42. Take the under. Take the under. Take Giants 7.5. Bengals, Steelers. I feel like if Joey Burrow wants to come back this season, the Bengals are really going to have to win this game. It's going to be a tough division for them if they don't. This is a huge divisional game. For the Bengals, yeah, sitting at 3-6 is not ideal. Pittsburgh is 5-4, and Baltimore is 4-5. So they are all fighting for the division. This does kind of look like a less exaggerated, or a more exaggerated, actually. This looks more like a dogfight than the AFC West, which is the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. But I think the Bengals can take this one. I think this kind of will be a sneaky win for them in the division here. They beat the Steelers a couple weeks ago on Thursday Night Football. I think they find a way tonight or this week. They're after a bye week, and the Steelers are Steelers are off a loss to the Chargers. So let's take the Bengals here for sure. 5.5. All right. I'm looking at this Texans and Titans game. And my only thing is I hated how the Texans played last week. I hated that they had to come back like they did, and I hated that the Jags lost like they did. But it's kind of a weird quarterback situation they have going on with old General Mills up in here. He was 27 for 45, 2 touchdowns, interception. Not awful, but we need more Woody Marks carries this week, especially for the fantasy team. Jags are a pretty good team, but if Trevor Lawrence is 13 for 23, that's not going to be good for them either. They must have dominated time of possession. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you know what? Let's get the Texans here. That's a very good team. Texans minus Titans. How close have they been playing, people? The Titans have lost last couple weeks. They lost to the Chargers 20-27. Yep, we're taking the Titans here. Removed off a bye. Give the guys in Cam Ward some peace here, man. Take the under here, too. Under sitting at, 37. Take it. Bang it. 49ers. Cardinals. What's this one sitting at? Under over at 48.5. I really like the over here. I think I do like the over here. I like the over here. Banged up defenses, kind of crazy offenses, chippy offenses. I think it could be a high scoring game. You know what? I lied. 48 points, take the under because this is a divisional game. And both of these teams really need this win. 49ers are moved off a loss. Cardinals are dog fighters, but they're so banged up. It's crazy. We talked about this one, Rams, Seahawks, great teams, but we love the Rams in this one. Especially we're going to be fading the public this weekend. Not quite in everything, but in this one for sure, people. Come back to me when I win you some money. Browns, Ravens. I like the Browns at 8.5 for some reason. Don't know why I made that pick earlier. But with the under being at 38.5, and the Ravens are on a heater. Let's go back with the Ravens, and they've been killing people. They beat the Vikings by 8 points. They beat the Bears by 14. They can beat the Browns. They're going to lay the hurt on those boys. Talked about the Chiefs, Broncos here. I love the Chiefs in this one. Need Patty to really step up. This could be a huge regular season game for him, one that kind of goes down for him in the history books of turning the season around. If the Chiefs could win out, that would be insane. That would change his resume. That would assert him as one of the most certified quarterbacks, because not only would he be dominant in the postseason, but he would be dominant in the regular season by overcoming everything, getting the team together, and getting things going by week 17. Because I feel like if he gets that going, he could. I mean, it doesn't matter. But if the Chiefs are in it, we're in it. That's all I gotta say. But I would love a home field advantage at some point, maybe for one game. But here, playing the Broncos, we don't get the home field advantage, and I just don't like what the Broncos did last week. So Chiefs right here, 3.5. Eagles, we talked about it, -1.5. Bang it. Fade the public. Coming down here, Cowboys, Raiders. Now, we could fade the public here, but we're not going to because at 3.5 points, the Cowboys are off a bye, and I believe that is good enough for me. Dak Prescott got the boys back, got them rallied, 3-5. They need this. Off 2 fresh losses to some okay teams. Let's take the Cowboys here. Save that. All right. Now, coming into my lineups here, I would like to point out that I need Bucky Irving to come back. That'd be fantastico. And Devon Achane, talked about it, need a 50-point game this week, playing a 6-4 opponent. I just slipped to second in this league, a tied record, but power ranking second. He's on a 4-game win streak. I really need this week. All right, big 8-2 league. I'm sitting at first in here. I think I'm gonna for sure be in the playoffs. So win-loss, we're okay here. But coming into some 2 crazy, much needed weeks. Mr. Javon. Mr. Javon, he is sitting at second. I'm sitting at fourth. If I could beat him, I could potentially come up, steal his second spot, preparing for records. And we could really see something happen here. But that could not happen too, and I could fall down to possibly 7th place. So not ideal just because points for, I'm sitting all right, but only by 2 points above these guys. Points against, sitting pretty high too. So I might be okay in power rankings, but I don't want to be in 5th place because in the playoff bracket here, we're only bringing 4 teams. So you really got to make it if you're going to make it. Down here, this is a must-win situation or I'm done. I have a 40 or 50% chance to make the playoffs. I'm playing this guy over here for basically the wild card spot. I'm sitting in 6th place right now in the wild card, and I need this. So 2 must-need wins here. Let's see how the teams are doing in the scoreboards. Looking at a 48% chance to win. I need to look at a second quarterback. While we're all here, let's see what's available. Brock Purdy, if he plays, could be fantastic. Davis Mills, I think that might be him. 2 touchdowns and a rushing last week for the win over Houston. Let's add him to the team. And let's drop. Oh, we have 3 players that played tonight that we can't drop. Let's drop Nick Chubb. That'll be okay. Or you know what? Let's drop Bo Nix. No one wants Bo Nix, especially when he's playing Kansas City. Davis Mills on the squad. Let's go. He's going to bring us a dub here. I promise you. I promise he did 27 last week. He's going to get 25 this week. Talk to me, Mr. Mills. Big ones here. Let's see if I can do anything with this team here. I like everybody here. I really like Dak in Vegas. I need Zach Ertz in Miami a little bit. And huge kicking performance by Mr. Harrison Big Boy Mavis. All right, getting into our betting segment, people. Looking like a little messy parlays here, but don't you worry. I got it sorted out for you. We got some beautiful spreads here. Okay. So we have a 13-legger. In the bottom left, I had it scrolling, but I paused the video here. 13 legs. New York Jets already cashed for plus 22. We have Dolphins plus 6 if you can find it. We have Falcons plus 4.5, which I don't really like. We'll leave it. That's okay. Leave that one. Falcons 4.5. We have Bears plus 11.5. We have Bangies plus 13.5. Packers minus 2.5. Then we're going to go Texas under 53. Chargers plus 3.5. Buccaneers plus 13.5. Rams plus 3.5. Chiefs plus 3.5. Lions plus 9. Cowboys plus 3.5. And that would be plus 260 odds. So obviously this one's kind of a stretcher. 13 legs is kind of insane. So let's look at the middle one. Actually, you can look at the bottom one too. That one's kind of familiar with the top one. Little sprinkles of difference in there. Didn't put the Texans game in there. And I don't think I put the Rams game in there too, just because they're so. Oh no, I did. I put the over at the very bottom of over 32.5. But let's look in the middle here because I feel like this is probably the biggest, most likely to hit here. We have a Lions plus 10. I have a Cowboys plus 3, a Chiefs money line, a Ravens minus 1.5, and then a Rams plus 3.5. So let's take all these. That'd be $25 pays for 287. Really look for this hit this weekend if you're looking for some nice bets. If you're looking for other bets this weekend, really have to shout out my Instagram. Make sure you guys follow me over there. It'll be Cosmic Football Analysis. Let's throw that up right here. Looking right here, threw some picks on that we had this weekend. Couple wins. We had a parlay here. Over 27.5. Pat's money line. Pat's first half. And then New England over 7.5, hit that one, made a couple bucks this week. And then this is what we just posted with our little scroller on the bottom left. So you know these bets are placed. I'm not just saying, hey, go place these bets and you'll make some money. I'm showing you that I placed these myself too. Keep checking this out. Keep checking me out. Looking for some giveaways soon. What? Say what? Giveaway soon. Check it out. Look to grow the followers. Please like, comment, subscribe. Just show some love everywhere, man. It just takes a second to show your boy some support. I'm trying to make you guys some money. That's what part of this is. Trying to give you guys some ideas in your fantasy, your betting schemes. So just let me know what I can do for you guys. Message me. I'm super available, super reluctant to talk about everything like this. If I'm able to come on here for 20 plus minutes, 30 minutes a week and talk about this, I would love to talk to you about it. Very easy to reach. Like I said, Cosmic Football Analysis, but hey, Cozmo Crum on everything else. Just DM me. Especially if I know you, I'll quickly get back to you. Again, people, much love. Thanks for watching, and we will see y'all on Sunday for a little recapper because there is too much to miss. Yes, sir.